We all try to, save money to best of our capabilities, but we fail at many times. So what happens? We try to save, but we fail, and then we feel, okay, let's put it on the back burner. But don't put your saving and investment plans on back burner. Don't let money manage your life, but become manager of your own money. So today in Money Masterclass, I have with me MoneyFront's co-founder and CEO, Mohit Gang, and Mohit is going to help us in managing our money in a better manner. Hi, Mohit. Welcome to Money 9. Thanks for your time.
Hi, Priyanka. Congratulations and all the best for this journey. There are very few platforms in this country who really focus beyond trading and short-term calls, and I'm really glad that you guys have started this channel specifically around mutual funds, personal finance, and long-term planning. So, wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much, Mohit. So the first question is that we talk about, we want to save. The game is old that we want to save, but rules have changed, and the new rules, how do they imply? And especially for people who have just started out in their career, they're earning, let's say, less income, or they have more expenses. How do they manage their money? What is the mantra that you want to give to them?
Perfect. So look, Priyanka, I have always believed, and in this first timeless classic which I read, which is called a book called Richest Man in Babylon, right? And it gives you a very fundamental principle in life that pay yourself first. Whatever you are earning, irrespective of the amount, it can be 10,000 rupees a month, it can be lakh rupees a month, right? You just have to pay yourself, which means that deduct around 10% at the minimum, at the basic level of that earnings every month and keep it aside. And then the formula which you need to follow in life is that your income minus your investments has to be your expenses, which means aapke paas you get 100 rupees, you put aside 10%, you put aside 10 rupees, which goes into an investment plan, and the remaining 90 rupees, say, then you run your household expenses and do all your parties and everything, right? But unfortunately, what we see is the lifestyle we live in. We follow an equation which is income minus expenses, and then if something remains out, that is what we end up investing, which is wrong. Change the equation of your life and keep aside 10%. Pay yourself first. You'll never go wrong,
Pay
irrespective of the
yourself
amount.
first is the first rule, but then I want to go even before the first rule. What if someone says that I'm not being able to sort of save so much because I have my expenses, I have, responsibilities, and there is also this mehengai which is bothering me, and I'm not being able to save anything. What do you want to tell them?
Look, the life on investments has gone sachet size, which is like how your shampoo bottles have gone to a sachet. Investments have also gone from a ticket size of 5,000 to 1,000 to 100 rupees now. So you can start your investment plan at 100 rupee. You can buy the entire index fund basically. So there can't be an excuse that I can't save 100 rupees also per month. All it requires is discipline and the right time to start your journey. So you just have to start your journey and then keep increasing your amount as your income increases. But you have to start it somewhere. Start with 100 rupees or 1,000 rupees, but start it.
Okay, so beginning is very important. We've discussed one rule, which is pay yourself, and second rule comes, which is the first rule of investment, in fact, is having an emergency fund. We have spoken, we've heard a lot of experts saying you should have a 6-month corpus, which will be your emergency fund, and it has to be very liquid, like your access has to be easy, and you should get that money immediately. Where do you suggest you should park your emergency fund money?
So look, I think times of COVID have taught us that uncertainties in life can hit you anytime, be it job, salary cuts. We've seen it all happening, right? And be it pandemic, people have fallen short of medicines, basic medicines at house, basic food items at house were running short. So you were not very well planned, right? It teaches you that. So emergency corpus, emergency stocking is required on all fronts. Similarly, when you start your investment journey, you have to first park aside at least 3 to 6 months of your cash salary into a sweepable FD, a fixed deposit with a bank of repute. In a sweepable FD, sweepable FD is nothing but it's an FD which you can sweep out anytime. You can swipe your debit card and the money will come. It. You don't have to fill a form to break it. You don't have any breakage charges. By nature, it can be withdrawn in bits and pieces, right? And the interest rate is maybe 0.5% lesser, but still it gives you all the flexibility and liquidity in life. So start with that. Park aside at least 6 months of your cash corpus, and that's when you start your journey.
Okay, so you start your journey with a sweep in FD, and when you go further, then comes the loan. And we've always heard that, you have to be debt free. But you say that all loans are not bad. I was reading your blog wherein you're saying that there are some good loans, there are some bad loans. So good cop, bad cop. How do you explain that, Mohit?
Yeah, you have to find goodness in everything. I personally believe in that, and so is the case with loans. Look, Priyanka, just to be very honest, my personal home loan today is running at a rate of 6.3%, right? It can't get better than that. I can perhaps try and do some debt instruments also and maybe make more than that, though I'm not trying and creating an arbitrage opportunity out here. But all I'm saying is when you have home loan rates which are lesser than 7%, when you have loans which you can avail at a very cheap rate, these help you give leverage and create long term physical assets. It's very difficult for someone to buy a home, a dream home, right? And that's the ambition which everyone works with. You want to have a residential home of your own to give you that peace of mind. It might not be the greatest of financial calls, but it definitely gives you a lot of peace. And to create that asset, you will have to leverage yourself out. So not all loan is bad. Just take it in a limit. Don't go beyond 30% of your income while paying EMIs. That's a core principle. Just take it in a limit, don't overspend, and be meticulous in paying it back timely and prepaying also. Those are the golden rules. Otherwise, loans are not
Okay, fine. So one thing that
bad.
I think we should talk post the show is which bank is giving you a home loan rate of 6.3. I think I should switch to your bank. But yeah,
I think
coming
it's a
back.
T-bill linked rate which you get these days, or repo linked rate. So most banks are starting. If you link it to T-bill or repo rate, you will definitely see a reduction in your rates.
Okay, so I think it's time for me to change my bank, but let's jump back to our conversation. If someone can't afford a home loan, if someone can't buy a house, is not ready for that kind of big expenditure, then you say switch to financial asset. Instead of physical asset, switch to financial asset. So, how can one accumulate financial asset? How much money do they need for that?
So look, Priyanka, to me, one should have all kinds of assets in a portfolio, be it physical assets or financial assets. Unfortunately, in Indian households, whatever we have seen and learned from our parents or grandparents is that we have always believed only in gold, fixed deposits, and properties or land, right? And that's the unfortunate part of an Indian household, that financial assets are the last priority. जब सब कुछ बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाएगा, then they will think कि अच्छा चलो stock market अच्छा कर रहा है, let's put somewhere, right? But that's not the way you do it.
So
You
one
have to
cliche
have.
line is Mohit, अपना घर तो अपना होता है, घर क्यों नहीं खरीद लेते? That is something which I think a lot of youngsters do not sort of want to buy a house at the start of their career.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's good also, Priyanka, that you should first build a reasonable corpus and then go for a big physical asset purchase. But first, you need to build some financial corpus to fulfill your goals, short-term goals, maybe long-term retirement planning. If you do it early, the earlier you do, the larger the corpus you will create, and it will be easier for you in the later life to buy physical assets of your own choice and dream. Right? Otherwise, you will end up buying a shoddy house where you'll never be satisfied and you'll keep changing every 5 years. Financial assets, as I told you initially, it comes in smaller packets also. You can start at 100 rupees, start at 1000 rupees, but the golden rule is start as early as possible. Start even before your first salary comes out. Start with your pocket money. That's when you will create a larger corpus and you'll build wealth for yourself. But believe in financial assets, they are the biggest compounders in life.
And there are SIPs which can help you in sort of start your investment in bite size, as Mohit says. Mohit, we come
Absolutely.
to the last rule, which is the wise usage of your credit card. Credit card are termed as the villain, in our lives. I mean, they can put you in difficult situation, but then do all the credit cards, do we have to stay away from all of them? Are all of them so bad? Are they the villains?
Look, Priyanka, so it's like watching movies. When you tell your kids don't watch movies, not all movies are bad. Some movies give you a real good lesson in life, real good learnings, and so is the case with credit cards. If you're prudent enough in your choice of card, and if you're meticulous enough in paying it timely, right? The biggest menace in credit cards is that people don't pay it timely, end up giving compounded charges, and those charges can be like 36%, 24% interest levies, and penalty charges, and so on and so forth. And it also damages your CIBIL or credit scores, right? So if you can pay it timely, if you can have a standing instruction, which is the utmost requirement when you take a credit card, put up a standing instruction to pay it timely. Even if you have a dispute, first pay it and then sort the dispute with the bank. Don't delay the payment. Then credit cards are really good. There are cards who can give you miles on airlines. There are cards who can give you petrol points and shopping points, and those can be redeemed and encashed. And that's like cheap cash to you, right? So if you're good at rotating, don't overspend, be timely in payments. Credit cards actually are good to have one or two
Okay, okay.
within a limit.
So just have to follow our hygiene. Thank you so much, Mohit, for your time. So what is my takeaway from Mohit's chat in Money Masterclass is this, that control your money or the lack of it will control you forever, says Dave Ramsey. And I think this is something which you should follow. Thank you, Mohit, for your time.